Hello friends, it's Jack and Andrew back again for news video number 2, and I thought I'd just do a silly little intro. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I thought you were going to burst out into rap there, Jack. How are you doing today?
Oh, on the verge of rapping, but not quite there yet. But we do have some more wrestling news to talk about, so I'll just get straight into those headlines. I feel like often Tom brings like a theme or a question. I've just not done that, so I just...
Oh, I'll tie loose ends up, Jack.
Go on.
I bent the spoon.
Okay. Like Uri Geller, what?
Yeah, Jack knows, yeah.
Oh, because of the football, right.
Well,
wait.
Should we just do some headlines?
Yeah. First of all, we take a look at the fan incident involving Chris Jericho on last night's AEW. In strange news, CM Punk's second UFC loss has now been overturned. And finally, in more serious news, we take a look at the backstage reaction in WWE to Jimmy Uso's recent arrest. So yes, first of all, let's go to AEW Dynamite Road Rager last night, where, there was a bit of an incident, Andrew, wasn't there, with a fan jumping the guardrail. It's one of those classic wrestling incidents.
It is, yeah. So during the segment with MJF in the ring, he was about to interview Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is basking in everybody singing, I become. And some guy jumps up on the apron and security go after him. Try and pull him away. Chris Jericho kind of just walks up to him, gets a few tumps in, Jack, gets a few of them old fisticuffs straight in head of this fella, and just a weird one for me personally. It was a weird one to see. The security acted rather fast, but not as fast as what I thought they might have done. The guy got on the apron and was on the apron for a little while before someone came and got him down. So.
Yeah, we've had so many good reminders in the past couple of weeks of the return of live fans to not just wrestling, but just different sporting events and that sort of thing. But often there can be a dangerous side as well. So obviously everybody's got to be careful when attending these events and behave sensibly, of course. Thankfully, nobody seems to have been seriously hurt by the incident. Jericho did make light of it in the subsequent promo or kind of promo war with MJF, where they were going back and forth, and said that he should have let that guy get in the ring and kick MJF's ass, which got a big cheer from the crowd. But the whole point of the promo was to set up an upcoming match between Jericho and MJF, which to get to, Jericho has to kind of undergo the labours of Hercules, MJF was saying. It's like Greek mythology, where he's got to face every member, I believe, or he's got to have 4 matches against different members of the Pinnacle, but the stipulations are chosen by MJF, and he's got to win each one as well. Yeah,
that sounds good. I was just thinking of, do you remember in Hercules, the Disney one, where Phil, Mr. Danny DeVito, is training Herc, and he's got to go through all the training things. I was hoping, hoping MJF was just going to sing, and call Chris Jericho's matches as he's singing. That would have been good.
There goes my ulcer. Oh, great. What a film, Andrew. What a film.
Beautiful.
In other news, we're going to go to the UFC very briefly. I know that obviously this is a wrestling channel, but we do talk about the UFC when it involves CM Punk. Because in very weird news, one of his losses on his 0-2 UFC record has actually been overturned, and it's now a no contest. According to a report by MMA Junkie, they've said that his loss to Mike Jackson at UFC 225 some 3 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, has been overturned to a no contest because Jackson was stripped of the win after he tested positive for marijuana on fight night. But the result of that being a no contest has only been made public now. And I don't quite understand why. I don't know why.
Me neither. You know. But I don't really know what much else to comment on this. It's just a strange one, isn't it? Why is it taken so long for this to happen?
I don't know. CM Punk. So CM Punk's official MMA record is now 0-1-1. Because he lost his first fight quite handily.
Yes.
The second fight he did lose in what I never watched, but was apparently a very uninspiring fight where he was clearly beaten, but Jackson didn't try and finish him or look too impressive. He just secured the decision victory, and apparently people were just not impressed with either man in it. But now it was no contest. So
whoa. Is he returning? CM Punk return confirmed. UFC, come on now.
Apparently neither man has fought since, so I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh, they've got to settle it now, right? If it's a no contest, come on, boys.
They should settle this one in the pro wrestling arena.
Yes.
They should do it that way around. I don't know what to make of it, Andrew. It's It's a weird one.
It is.
MMAJunkie.com said now there's only one official loss on CM Punk's MMA record. Full story in bio, so you can check that out on MMAJunkie.com's Instagram account. But then the Truth Jackson, who I'm assuming is Jackson himself, the fighter, Mike Jackson, put, it's funny how you losers think your opinions matter. I'm like, whoa. Ooh. It's kicking off. It's kicking off big style. Let's get back to wrestling, because I feel infinitely more comfortable talking about wrestling.
Yes.
A Raw star, Andrew, has had a classic title of theirs stolen. Who are we talking about here?
We're talking about Charlotte Flair, Jack. So she was speaking on the Week in Geek radio show, and she said, 2 years ago, or maybe a little over 2 years ago, I moved back from North Carolina to Florida, and I had the Divas Championship packed in a box, and that box is gone. So whoever has it, please give it back or ship it back. That's been the one piece that went missing that I miss. So wrestlers in their title belts, eh?
No, I'm not saying that Charlotte's lying or anything. We've all thought we've been the victim of a theft. But we've also all lost something in a house move. So I'm joking, of course. A whole title belt is probably quite a hefty thing to lose in the middle of a house move.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's very sad indeed, because of course she was the final ever Divas champion as well. She, I believe she was the Divas champion heading into that WrestleMania 32 triple threat against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Then she won that and became the new women's champion. But yeah, even though the Divas belt has like a bad rep, it was like silly looking and it wasn't very, empowering and everything. It would still have, I think, been a nice kind of thing for her to have. Do you know what I mean? Because she was the last ever one.
Well, I mean, as well, I guess it's kind of a remembrance from where they were to where they've got to now too, which is quite nice, I guess, for them as well. So yeah, it's just it is a shame. Please, if you're watching this news video, Mr. Thief or Mrs. Thief person, please give it back to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, guys? In other news as well, let's talk about Madison Square Garden, because there's been a lot of talk globally, across the world really, about what vaccinations will mean for attending live events. Will priority be given? Will people be turned away if they haven't had both? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. It's very important, but I'm just recapping very briefly. I've had one of two. Would that mean I'd be allowed to... Have you had one, Andrew? I think
I've had one of two so far, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now, according to Madison Square Garden's website, that means we will be not allowed to attend Friday Night SmackDown at the Garden, meaning that the event apparently requires you to turn up 14 days after your final vaccine dose. The only exception is for children under the age of 16 who may provide proof of a negative antigen or PCR COVID-19 test or full vaccination and are accompanied by a vaccinated adult. So... that's interesting. I think that's what people have been suggesting, that live events may only be open to those who are fully vaccinated and can show proof of that, which I do understand totally. But over here, of course, we've had this staggered system where because we're younger, it's taken us longer to, get the... I guess this might just be the best way of doing things. I don't really know.
I think so. I think it's just better to be... I mean, especially coming into somewhere like Madison Square Garden that can hold so many people as well. It makes sense that to have people fully vaccinated before coming into the show, just to contain it, just to make sure nothing happens and no more outbreaks and stuff. Like, we finally get into the end of this, or what seems like to be the end of this. So let's not go backwards again, as we have done many times. I mean, the world has gone backwards many times. So I think it just makes sense.
Fair enough. And in other serious news as well, we talk. Let's go to Fightful, who are talking about news on the response to Jimmy Uso's backstage heat following the very sad situation. He's been arrested again, another DUI. He obviously needs some sort of help. Like, this is getting quite serious now. Well, not that it wasn't serious before, but you know what I mean. According to Fightful, they've expanded on what WrestleVotes were recently saying. The report saying that Jimmy has really disappointed high-level people in power. And they've kind of widened that scope, Fightful have, and they've talked to other people saying that WWE themselves didn't respond, but multiple WWE superstars expressed to Fightful that they were happy that this wasn't the line last time around. So you remember last time WWE said people make their own mistakes, they need to deal with it themselves. Well, apparently a lot of superstars have said to Fightful, we're glad that that's not the line this time around, because this is clearly a recurring thing. And sometimes people can't, just help themselves. They need further help. So that's apparently quite a relief backstage that isn't the company line this time. Also, apparently he's a well-liked guy backstage. He's quite popular. But one person in particular compared these infractions to Rob Van Dam in 2006, noting that more happened to him than in the 3 arrests. And saying that, a separate top name as well said that Jimmy's current storyline is the storyline we've all been waiting for, and that there's a real sense of how can he be risking this, how can he be messing this up when he's finally in the spotlight. So similarities with Rob Van Dam there, certainly, because he was the champion when that all went down in 2006. It's a sad situation, but I suppose it can only be a positive that backstage there appears to be a real concern for Jimmy Uso. Perhaps not so much backstage heat as like just a backstage concern, I suppose. What do you make of it?
I mean, it's always hard. Without getting too serious or whatever, I've had family that have been done for DUIs and stuff as well, and it's not an easy thing to sort of come to terms with. It's a really difficult situation because it's a silly thing to do. It's an absolute silly thing to do, to put other people's lives in danger, but then it's also not like the person that is doing those things might not be in the best place either. So it's really hard to sort of.
It's like a balancing act sort of thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Where you've got to weigh up both. Yeah.
It's really tough, but I just hope that Jimmy gets the help that it seems like he needs, and hopefully we can see him back on the screen and healthy and happy, and see him get back in this storyline when he's ready to do so. And I like I said, it's tough. I really do wish him the best, and I hope he gets better, and I hope everybody involved in it is okay as well.
Absolutely. It's a sad situation all around from multiple different angles, but hopefully he gets the help he needs, and hopefully things can come out a little bit better than they were going in. Thanks everybody for watching this news video. Of course, we had to end on a rather serious note there because not all stories are, jolly in the world of wrestling. But at the same time, I'm sure we'll be back with plenty more fun content for you to watch. Andrew, have you got anything to anything you're going to be entertaining us with?
Oh,
in the upcoming few days.
Our lovely social media man Fraser has so kindly asked me. I think Tom's had his week on TikTok. It seems like my week is here. The old man's week is here, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be doing something on TikTok at some point anyway, so I guess look out for that. Or if you want to avoid that. So yeah, what about yourself, Jack?
Nothing particular to report, but myself and Owen, we are continuing to rumble on with the Fabes on twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Of course, we are now we need to win one of our last 3 games to win the league, Andrew. And if we do so, then we've won and we get promoted to the next league, which I think by this point will be League 2. Owen, are you there? Can you just confirm that? Yeah, it will be League 2, right? Oh, it will be League 2. And also, because there's only a few games to play next week, it's also my favourite time of the season. It's the end of year awards, where we'll be dishing out some awards to our entirely fictional players. But the fans can vote, or the viewers vote on that. So
£5 Ken, all the way.
He's been injured a lot this season. He like tore his cruciate or something. He's back now.
He puts it all in. He goes all in,
He does. He tries really hard. We've done it for him, essentially. We've managed to win the league, or hopefully win the league for £5 Ken. But yes, join us on Wednesday for that from 6 p.m. UK time. And thanks very much for joining me, Andrew, on these 2 news videos today. And thank you very much for watching at home. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and we'll see you very soon.